Hey guys, it's Little Nogi Tales here, and today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite mangas. Well, I haven't read much, but still, and that is Berserk, the dark medieval fantasy by Kentaro Miura. And I recently caught up, well, not recently, more like a month ago or 2 months ago. But yeah, it's just mind blowing and I felt like this is really something that people should read. So before I get on to my recommendation, I'm just gonna be talking about two things that really are the main things that would turn people off in Berserk. So the first thing is the gore, or just how everything is portrayed in Berserk, the brutality. There's it's probably as gory as you're gonna get for any manga in Berserk. There's just when there's death, there's guts spilling out everywhere. There's really detailed torture at times. You can see the torture is not just implied. There's even rape and nudity. So, yes, I can understand how some people really don't delve into that type. As for me, I don't really mind it. It doesn't really take away from the story, but if this is not your thing, then I would consider, kind of passing by Berserk because this is the gore, the brutality that's really one of its really main characteristics. So, besides the gore and the brutality and the rape and all that, there's also the hiatuses. Yeah, Kentaro Miura, like Togashi, is known for his hiatuses. I think usually he's supposed to come out with a chapter once every 2 months, but there'd be periods when he'd take an 8 month hiatus or maybe even a year, and we just won't get a Berserk chapter. I recently caught up, so I haven't really experienced one. Well, I'm experiencing one now. I think it's been like 8 months, something like that, where since he's made a chapter or written a chapter. And this also goes to another problem, and that is, well, it might not finish. At this rate, people, it's really hard to say that he's gonna finish. I heard he's around 70% done, but if he keeps going at this pace, I highly doubt that he'll finish. So there's the possibility that, as fans, we'll never know the end of Berserk. But I'm pretty sure there's reasons. There's got to be the mangaka's health. There's been speculation that he's been ill, or he's been working on some side projects. But these are all factors that come into Berserk, and it's really just kind of one of the things that kind of tie it down. So basically, those are the two things that really make Berserk just a no go for some people. And if you can deal with this, then I highly, highly suggest that you go into Berserk. So the first thing that I really love about Berserk is the art. Oh my goodness. I think, yeah, it's definitely my favorite art so far. I haven't read that much manga, and I heard Vagabond really has nice drawings, and I love the author there too. In a way, I like two of his mangas, Slam Dunk and Real. But so far, Berserk has been the best art for me. Just the way he draws his monsters or villains, and just how detailed they are. I mean, you can see like it's like HD graphics coming at you every time in just a panorama. And sometimes when we get armies clashing, we'd see every single detailed armor for each soldier. Or other times we'll see a panorama of like just the beautiful beautiful background. You'd see the sky, everything. It looks so pretty and nice, and it's really, really great to look at. I know, for me at least, manga is more story than art, but the art is still a huge part of manga, and yeah, it's how the saying goes, icing on the cake. This is really just a big plus on why Berserk is so great in my opinion. So besides the art, the next thing I love about Berserk is the characters. The two the main characters in particular, Guts and Griffith, and they're both in my favorites of the respective sides of protagonist of heroes in a way and villains. Guts is more of a dark anti-hero, if I say, if I have to classify him. And what I really love about him is just how deep his past is, and he's some guy who's gone through some shit. Yeah, like his backstory is probably as brutal as there is one for anybody, and I don't know. I sort of enjoy that sort of character, who's worked through his tragedy, and he's as tough as they come. I'd say it's really enjoyable because he's also an underdog story. He's a human in this just magical demonic world, just trying to basically overthrow the demon gods, or this just supernatural beings that are far superior to regular humans, at least. But Guts is more than human, I'd say. And yeah, he's really, really strong and just a beast. And his story, his backstory with the main villain Griffith is really amazing. The Golden Age arc, it's definitely one of my favorite arcs in all of manga, all of any story. Yeah, any sort of story actually. But yeah, that's amazing how they did that. And the other character, Griffith, the main villain, is definitely one of my favorites as well. Around Johan or Marion, those three, they always juggle in my mind. But the way he leads, his charisma into, getting people to follow his cause, not necessarily manipulating them, but just having that aura that exudes leadership. You get some of those people that are extremely charismatic, and you just know they're special. And the stuff that Griffith does in the series is really shocking and inspiring. Well, not inspiring, but really amazing in a good and a bad way. But those are just the main characters. The side characters, I do enjoy. They go through some pretty good development, some of them, and it's really nice to see. Like, I really don't want to spoil, but some of these characters grow into you, some of them not. Guts and Griffith definitely go through some really, really good development throughout the series. And yeah, I'd say the characters are really a good strong point, especially the main characters for Berserk. Another thing I really enjoy is basically the story of Berserk. It's basically, for me, if I had to sum it in a sentence, Guts trying to overcome a curse he's been given by demons. And that's basically just a premise. But of course, it's much, 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 much more deeper than that. And it's really great, amazing to see Guts go on his journey, to try to just. I really don't want to spoil anything, but just avenge, not avenge, but just get these demons off his back already. It's a really good story, and I really don't want to spoil anything, but I'd say just read it for yourself. Another thing I really love about Berserk is the world. Now it's more demonic. Like I said, it was a dark medieval fantasy, so there's magic, there's, knighthood. It's around that time, where they're using swords as weapons, medieval era, and there's still guns. So basically, I forgot what the word. It's the feudal era, and if you're into that type of world, then this is definitely the right manga for you. The world of magic that the author Kentaro Miura made is that fits along with this world of Berserk, which is just filled with darkness and despair. It's great, It's 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 nice to see. Well, it's not a nice world, but it's really kind of just enchanting how elaborate his world is. I really enjoy worlds like huge elaborate worlds made by authors like A Song of Ice and Fire by George R. R. Martin. The world of that world is really amazing to me, and Berserk is just another type of those worlds that really, kind of pull you in. You have a little history there, a clash there, and I'd say the scope of the manga would be continental war. It covers continents, so it's pretty big, and it's pretty satisfying to see the different regions, the different cultures, and all that good jazz. But I think, yeah, those are reasons I believe Berserk to be an amazing manga. And oh, one thing about the art though, it starts off. It was first Berserk was first published in like 1980, so the art at first is kind of meh, but it definitely gets better on later on, especially through the second arc or second saga, which is the Golden Age. Then you'll definitely see the improvements by then, and then you'll be amazed. But the first arc, it's sort of meh, but that's because it's pretty old. It's pretty damn old. 35 years now, I think, something around there, maybe closer to 30 years. I don't know. But anyway, that's my thoughts on Berserk and why I believe it's one of the best mangas out there. I really didn't want to spoil anything, but there are some events in Berserk that really, really are like, uh, it changes people. I was spoiled to this event, but it really gripped me even then. And one of the things there that you love about the Berserk is the author's not afraid to, off people. So you really have this sort of suspense throughout the whole manga, and you're really in your seat because, in some mangas, the author never kills anybody, and well, you just know that they're all gonna come back to life or just stay safe, and you never really have that danger. It's more like, how are they gonna beat them this time? Like Dragon Ball, just bringing people back to life. It's not like that with Berserk. Their lives are on the line here, and they're in danger. So that's basically my recommendations on why I believe Berserk to be a must-read manga for a ton of people. So this little Nogi Tales here, and thanks for watching. Sorry for my voice, I'm a little sick. Bye.